Stroll, the pole sitter, the early race leader for half of the Grand Prix, struggling.
4 laps. Yep. I wish it was less.
Oh, Bottas not in a great mind's space there. 4 laps to go, he's told. Bottas saying, I wish it was less. Well, he's in 14th position at the moment. Here they come then, down towards turn 12. Stroll still ahead of Norris in their battle over 8th position, but Norris much, much quicker than the Racing Point. Hamilton has that free pit stop that Jenny was alluding to, so if the rain did come, it might be possible for Hamilton to pit and to get away with it. Ferrari having one of their best days of the year, undoubtedly. Leclerc third and Vettel in fourth. Carlos Sainz is fifth for McLaren. Then the 2 Red Bulls of Verstappen and Albon in 6th and 7th. Stroll is 8th, 9th is Norris, 10th is Ricciardo. And we're just getting a look at Verstappen coming through the final corner at turn 14, and he had a
beyond control for one of the great rainmasters usually. Not today for Max Verstappen, it's just not happened.
The sound you can hear is Lando Norris in the McLaren, Jenny, chasing down Lance Stroll.
Yeah, and they have got a lot of mission, I would say, at McLaren. Both drivers getting penalties yesterday the team thought was slightly unfair. Norris was +5 on the grid and Sainz +3. So they are out there, they're angry, and they're trying to collect points for this team and Constructors' Championship.
And remember, in that battle, they're fighting tooth and nail for third in the Constructors with... It's Hamilton.
So we do expect rain to hit exit of turn 8 first.
Man, if it is indeed going to rain, these tyres...
Yeah, copy notes, that's why we're going to go for a safety stop.
Okay, so that stop that Jenny was talking about earlier on, building up that margin for a free pit stop, is exactly what Mercedes are going to do, just to put on the wet tyres for the last 2 laps, just in case it does rain, and then he'll still be fine in the lead of the Grand Prix. Hamilton leading, Perez second, Leclerc third, Vettel fourth. Hamilton will have just 2 laps to do on his new wet tyres. Stroll goes off at turn 1, and that's going to allow Norris through easily. Lando Norris up then into 8th position, and it's all just gone backwards for Stroll, and he must be sitting there thinking, well, the team must be, we shouldn't have pitted him, maybe.
Yeah, he's going to be gutted to see Sergio Perez in second place and probably on the podium by the end of this.
Well, I was thinking that, but Leclerc and Vettel are both quicker.
I hear you. There's going to be slippery in that pit lane.
Two laps to go.
Yeah.
2 laps to go. No rain as yet. When it comes, apparently it's going to be heavy, but it is not falling just yet. And Hamilton is about to come up towards turn 8 as well, where we're expecting the rain to hit first. So he's in the same boat as Perez behind. He's still got that free pit stop if he wants it for the final lap, but so far it's looking okay.
Perez found a little more pace on that last lap, so he's 3.3 seconds ahead of Charles Leclerc. He should be able to hold on for that second position. Never won a Grand Prix, Sergio Perez, but a lot of impressive podiums, and this is another one.
Yeah, and for Stroll, who led him, Lando Norris passing Lance Stroll there, and that was his radio message. But for Stroll, who beat him to pole, led, he's going to be really disappointed to see Perez today. Laps, took that pit stop and has just slumped to 9th, where he should finish, because he's got a big gap back to the Renaults, who have also had a tricky day. But there is a big battle between Racing Point, Renault and McLaren in the Constructors. Of course, Racing Point are looking to score big points with Perez in second, but have survived well, having had those grid drops, not made Q3. Sainz in 5th and Norris in 8th. That's a good result when Renault are looking like taking 1 point.
Neither Ferrari and neither McLaren were in the top 10 at the start of this Grand Prix. Now you've got Leclerc third, Vettel fourth, Sainz fifth and Norris in 8th position. In fact, it was the first time since 1967 that we had no Ferrari, Williams or McLaren in the top 10 of a Formula One starting grid. But The Ferraris and the McLarens are there now. Hamilton is here now, coming up to the top of the hill at turn 3, then starting to drop down on turn 4. It's his final lap of the race. Half a lap to go for Hamilton before he wins the Turkish Grand Prix and wraps up a 7th Formula One world title.
He's just formidable, isn't he?
Yeah.
Any conditions, he'll be there at the end of the Grand Prix. And this one, it looked like Mercedes were on the back foot. They qualified 6th and 9th. Hamilton got a good start, then was just stuck in the battle between he, Albon, Vettel, maybe Verstappen as well at times. But then he comes alive at various moments in the race and transforms it into a dominant win. Nearly 30 seconds clear of Perez. It's sheer dominance in the end. And it seems like it's unexpected from the first half, but it's consistently great from him.
Lewis Hamilton made a huge splash in the junior single-seater series. He was winning them almost every time in his first season. He burst into Formula One and nearly wrapped up the championship in his first year. He wrapped up the championship in his second season. A controversial move from McLaren to Mercedes looked risky, but goodness me, it's paying off, because the man from Stevenage comes across the line, wins the Turkish Grand Prix, and becomes the most successful Formula One driver of all time. Equals Michael Schumacher's world championship record with 7. He has the most wins, he has the most pole positions, and the British driver is the greatest Formula One driver of all time. Charles Leclerc has sent it up the inside of Perez, down into turn 12 on the final lap, but he runs wide and he's going to lose out to his teammate Vettel. Sebastian Vettel, in his last season for Ferrari, is going to be on the podium here. Through the final turn, Sergio Perez across the line. Vettel might get him. They're having a bit of a drag race, but he doesn't. And Sainz nearly gets Leclerc as well. But it is Perez second for Racing Point, third for Sebastian Vettel, fourth for Charles Leclerc, fifth for Carlos Sainz. But Lewis Hamilton, a 7-time Formula One world champion, matches Michael Schumacher, and surely he's going to go on to beat Michael Schumacher. And Charles Leclerc has pulled over at the side of the track and is banging his fists on the wheel because he got ahead of Perez.
He had it. Perez made a mistake on the final lap at turn 9, gifted the place to Leclerc, but Leclerc just had the line and overcooked it down to turn 12.